Imagine a single piece of land that acts as the literal hinge of the world, a place where you can stand with one foot in Asia and the other in Europe, watching the entire flow of global trade and human history pass through a needle-thin strait of water. This isn't just a travel destination, it is a geographic miracle. For thousands of years, the greatest empires in human history, from the Romans and Persians to the Ottomans, have bled for this soil. Why? Because if you control this specific peninsula, you don't just control a country, you control the gateway between East and West. This is Turkey, a nation defined by a geography so powerful it has shaped the destiny of mankind. And today, we're diving deep into the tectonic shifts, mountain barriers, and strategic waterways that make Turkey the ultimate crossroads of the world. To understand the modern power of Turkey, we first have to look at the Anatolian Peninsula. While the modern Republic of Turkey is a successor to the massive Ottoman Empire, it is now largely confined to this specific plateau. But don't let the smaller borders fool you. This land is a fortress. To the north lies the Black Sea, to the west the Aegean, and to the south the Mediterranean. But the real magic happens at the edges. The crown jewel of Turkish geography is the Bosporus Strait. This narrow ribbon of water is the only way to get from the Black Sea into the Mediterranean and beyond to the Atlantic Ocean. Because of this tiny gap, the city of Istanbul was born. Think about the sheer weight of history in that one city. It has been the capital of the world's most formidable empires. First, the Greeks recognized its value, then the Persians, then it became the beating heart of the Byzantine Empire as Constantinople, and finally, the seat of the Ottoman Caliphate. But the Bosporus isn't alone. On the other side of the Sea of Marmara lies the Dardanelles Strait. Together, these two choke points create a maritime corridor that connects the heart of Eurasia to the rest of the world. If you are a superpower in Eastern Europe or Central Asia, and you want to trade with Africa or the Americas, you have to play by Turkey's rules. This geographic reality created a power triangle between the Balkans, the Greek islands, and Anatolia. Historically, whoever held this triangle held the keys to global economy. When Alexander the Great set out to topple the Persian Empire, his first move wasn't to march on Iran. It was to seize Anatolia. By cutting off the Persians from these Mediterranean ports, he caused one of history's greatest superpowers to collapse in just 8 years. However, Turkey's importance isn't just about the water. It's about the very bones of the earth. Millions of years ago, the Eurasian and Anatolian tectonic plates slammed into each other, creating a massive geological scar known as the North Anatolian Fault Line. This violent collision didn't just cause earthquakes, it sculpted a landscape that is both a blessing and a curse. In the north, this collision pushed up the Pontic mountain range. These peaks soar to over 4,000 meters, creating a massive wall of rock. This wall is the reason why Turkey looks the way it does. As moisture evaporates from the Black Sea, it travels south until it hits these giant mountains. The clouds can't climb over them, so they dump all their rain on the northern slopes. This has created a lush, green, and incredibly fertile paradise along the Black Sea coast. But there's a catch. Because the mountains trap all that moisture, the interior of Turkey tells a completely different story. Nearly 70% of the country is harsh, dry, and arid. If you travel to the southern regions touching the Middle East, the landscape transforms into a sun-scorched plateau. This dramatic split is why Turkey's population map looks so lopsided. Most people huddle in the west and north, in cities like Istanbul, Izmir, Bursa, and the capital, Ankara. Humans go where the water is, and in Turkey, the mountains decide who gets the water. This brings us to the southern border, where geography transitions from a blessing into a complex geopolitical headache. Just as the Pontic Mountains guard the north, the Taurus mountain range dominates the south. For centuries, these mountains served as a natural shield for Anatolia. In the 13th century, the Mongol Empire was an unstoppable force, steamrolling across Asia. They swallowed Azerbaijan and Iran in no time. But when they hit the Taurus Mountains, the blitzkrieg stopped. It took the Mongols 10 years just to move 570 kilometers from Azerbaijan into the heart of Turkey. To put that in perspective, they once conquered 6,000 kilometers of European territory in just 5 years. The mountains were a better defense than any army could ever be. But today, that same rugged terrain creates a massive internal challenge. The eastern and southern parts of Turkey are economically and infrastructurally far behind the West. The mountains make building roads, rails, and factories incredibly expensive. Furthermore, this region is home to the Kurdish people, who make up about 15% of Turkey's population. The Kurds are often cited as the largest ethnic group in the world without a state of their own, spread across Turkey, Syria, Iraq, and Iran. This Kurdish corridor is a flashpoint of tension. While the mountains once protected Turkey from foreign invaders like the Mongols, they now provide cover for militant groups and separatists. For the government in Ankara, the East is a paradox. It's a natural fortress that provides security, but it's also a source of constant internal instability. Adding another layer to this complexity are two of the most famous rivers in human history, the Tigris and the Euphrates. Both of these rivers begin their journey in the mountains of eastern Turkey before flowing down into Syria and Iraq. During the Ottoman era, these were vital highways for transporting goods. Today, they are instruments of hydropolitics. Turkey has been building a series of massive dams to harness hydroelectric power and irrigate its dry southern plains. The problem? By holding back the water, they are literally turning off the tap for Syria and Iraq. In a world where water is becoming more valuable than oil, Turkey's control over the headwaters of these rivers gives them a massive soft power lever over their neighbors, though it comes at the cost of high-stakes diplomatic friction. In the modern era, Turkey's role as the world's middleman has only intensified. Being a bridge between continents means you are the ultimate transit hub. For centuries, the Silk Road funneled the riches of China and India through Anatolia to reach the markets of Europe. Today, that Silk Road has been replaced by pipelines and shipping containers. Because Turkey controls the Bosporus and Dardanelles, every single merchant ship passing through must pay fees and follow Turkish regulations. This maritime toll booth generates billions and ensures that Turkey remains relevant to every global superpower, from Washington to Moscow. Currently, Turkey shares borders with 8 different nations: Bulgaria and Greece to the west, Georgia, Armenia, Azerbaijan, and Iran to the east, and Iraq and Syria to the south. Look at those names. This is arguably the most volatile neighborhood on the planet. To the south, the Syrian civil war and the rise of extremist groups like ISIS have forced Turkey to militarize its borders and deal with one of the largest refugee crises in history. To the east, the tensions between Armenia and Azerbaijan keep the region on a knife edge. Yet, despite the chaos surrounding it, Turkey remains a dominant regional power. Its geography demands it. If the Anatolian and Eurasian plates hadn't collided millions of years ago, there would be no Bosporus. There would be no natural mountain fortresses. The Silk Road would have found another path. And the history of the Roman and Ottoman empires would look completely different. Turkey's story is a perfect example of geographic determinism, the idea that the physical features of the earth dictate the success or failure of the people living on it. Turkey is a land of contradictions. It is a bridge and a barrier, a paradise and a desert, a shield and a target. It is a country that can never be ignored because it sits at the exact spot where the world meets. As long as ships need to sail and goods need to move between continents, Turkey will remain the most strategic piece of real estate on the map. If you found this deep dive into the miracle of Turkish geography fascinating, there is so much more to explore. Geography doesn't just explain the past, it predicts the future of global conflict and cooperation. We've used a variety of historical and geological sources to put this together, and we'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you think Turkey's location is more of a gift or a curse in the 21st century? Let us know in the comments below. We read every single one. Don't forget to hit that like button if you learned something new today, and subscribe for more deep dives into the maps that rule our world. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.